What's going on, you guys? Kensu here. A little short video. So what I want to talk about today really shortly is Guilty Gear Strive's release is upon us, and it is a good thing, you guys. Rejoice. We get the game in just a couple days, and it's going to be fun. Now, I do want to point out something that I think is kind of important, and it is that as a community, there's going to be a lot of new players. So with that being said, there's going to be a lot of new, there's just going to be all kinds of people out here doing stuff. VTubers, Twitch streamers, YouTube streamers, YouTube content creators, just the whole nine, of things are just going to be out there, right? So in lieu of that, especially, regarding like the streamers and some of the content creators, naturally, I'm going to encourage you guys, try to find a community, try to get in there, learn your thing, learn your craft, maybe find some new people to play with, etc., etc. Keep in mind, especially for some of you guys who are already kind of like intermediate, maybe somewhat at FGC, if you will, I'm not the one to tell you how to behave, but just note that we have a lot of new people coming into the Guilty Gear community off of the strength of Strive. We want to put our best foot forward as far as I'm concerned. There's gonna be a lot of new people here, and we don't want them to quit. We need as many people to play as possible. And it's something that's been brought to my attention before, where people are talking to me about, well, what do you think about player retention? What's gonna happen in the future? Are these players gonna stick around past month one? Blah blah blah, XYZ. Honestly, I think that they will stick around. I think the real issue here is whether or not we embrace them, right? So that means everyone, if you're watching this video, it starts with you. It starts with the community. If the community is constantly embracing a bunch of newer players, newer content creators into the scene, then we can grow. I understand on some fronts there's certain things that may seem I don't know, maybe sometimes the people who you're watching with a content creator may not be right about all their things. I mean, even I've come out and said stuff about some of the other content creators who don't really know much about Guilty Gear, and they're saying some things that may seem a little bit wrong. It's okay to forgive them on that. It's all good. Everyone makes mistakes. Everyone says, everyone just says things, sometimes for better, sometimes for worse. That's not the point. The idea is like, these content creators, they have a platform, and we should respect the platform. It's good that we have them playing the game, but they're playing Guilty Gear, right? I think that's the most important part, is that they're playing Guilty Gear. We shouldn't be possessive, like, yo, look at this person playing my game, let me go in there and show them up. No. Show them how to play and get better. Not show them up and make them feel like crap on their stream or anything like that, because there have been some instances where some people, some content creators just don't want to stick around with Guilty Gear because the way that some people treat them in the community. But it doesn't mean that we should alienate them at all. They have big platforms, and that's great. That's a great way to have more eyes on Guilty Gear from a streaming standpoint, content creation standpoint. Like, it's good, when we need that. There's a lot of great things that have been happening, even with Maximilian, with Twitch Rivals. As you can see, I'm giving props to these content creators because I think that they deserve it. And, not to mention, it's good that we have these platforms, So let's grow the game on every platform we can, Every, streamer, big name, whatever, however you want to look at it, the goal is to grow, Because Arxis has so many good things, like, in mind, that I think it's good that we, as a collective, work together with Arxis to kind of push their agenda forward, right? Because they said they want to do esports, and not to mention within the esports, what they want to do also is separate, the skill gaps, where the pro people have their thing, and then the intermediate and maybe the beginners, they have their own thing as well. Or it could be 3 different tiers, it could be beginner, intermediate, and then the pro level, or it could be 2, right? Where they kind of mishmash the beginner and the intermediate, right? More amateur league, if you will, right? Because there are amateur leagues in other esports games too, right? So they're obviously trying to make a push for it, and I think that we do have something good here. We have survived Arc Revo for what it's worth, but maybe they're doing something different this time around with Guilty Gear or what have you. So let's push this together again as a collective, because I think that we have something good here. I guess the easiest way to put it, the short way to put it, just be nice and be great to each other. There's a lot of people who want to play Guilty Gear, and we don't have to be too possessive about it. It's great that we're having a new game. We could have been stuck playing other older Guilty Gear games for a long time. Sure, we got Plus R and we got Revelator, but we got a new game. And that's not to say that we should disregard Revelator and or Plus R. I'm all about having us underneath one roof. I'm all about that. We don't need to alienate any game in the series, against each other. Like, let's just play together, learn together, You know, if you want to appreciate the older versions of Guilty Gear, that's what they're there for. You know, one of them has rollback. Who knows, maybe Revelator might get rollback at some point. I don't know. I can't say. I don't work for Arxis, right? But yeah, just be great to each other. We have something here. We do have something here, and I'm looking forward to seeing how, you know, all these organizations, you know, kind of push, you know, Guilty Gear, because we got even Counter Logic Gaming is doing, you know, an event for the game, you know, and it's good to see, you know, it's good to see, you know, a fighting game getting like the love it deserves, you know. And, you know, it's not Street Fighter, it's not Tekken, you know, it's Guilty Gear. So it's really cool to see that we're getting that for Guilty Gear now. And obviously I hope to see it with other games as well, but in this instance we're dealing with Guilty Gear, so it's a good thing. It's a good thing. Either way, that's really all I wanted to say. You know, just be good to each other, be kind, be great, and let's keep growing the scene, because we have something great here. Let's do our best to support Arc, you know, to the best of our ability, and not just Arc, but the community, because again, it starts with you. Revolution starts with one, and that one person's gonna start with you, start with me, your homie next to you, your homie on the other side of you, and we just come together and just do something great. Yeah, so that's pretty much it. I don't want to take up too much more of you guys' time. I just want to just kind of knock this out the way. You know, I have a lot of content I'm working on right now. Hopefully you guys have been enjoying the Red Bull Kumite analysis. Those are really fun to do, and there's some other things I'm working on as well, so keep your eyes peeled here and keep it locked. You know, if you're not already subscribed, you know what to do. Hit the subscribe button and the notification bell and YouTube housekeeping stuff that you already know. We gonna hit the outro here, and here's where we gonna dip and say deuces gooses.